Join me as I put these proven feeding strategies to the test and see if I can minimize spit up while feeding my little one. Spit up during feeding, it's a common concern for new moms, and today we're going to tackle it head on. As a new mom, you're likely no stranger to the frustration and worry that comes with seeing your baby spit up after a feeding session. But don't worry, I've got you covered. With these proven feeding strategies, you'll be well on your way to minimizing spit up and making mealtime a whole lot more enjoyable for both you and your baby. Spit up can be messy, stressful, and uncomfortable for your baby, not to mention the extra laundry and cleanup it requires. It can also make you feel uncertain and anxious about feeding your baby, which can be really tough for new moms. And let's be honest, it's not exactly the most glamorous thing to deal with, especially when you're already sleep deprived and trying to figure out this whole parenting thing. On top of that, spit up can also lead to concerns about your baby's feeding and digestion, which can be a huge source of stress for parents. Furthermore, it can even impact your baby's comfort and happiness, which is the last thing we want. And finally, it can also put a damper on that special bonding time you have with your baby during feedings, which is really important for their development and your relationship. So, what can you do to minimize spit up and make feeding a more enjoyable experience for both you and your baby? Well, it all starts with proper positioning. Make sure your baby is at a comfortable angle, with their head higher than their stomach. This can help prevent milk from flowing back up into their mouth, reducing the likelihood of spit up. Next, focus on pacing during feeding. If you're bottle feeding, try to pace the flow of milk to match your baby's natural feeding rhythm. If you're breastfeeding, make sure to nurse in a comfortable position and take breaks if needed. This can help prevent your baby from getting overwhelmed and reduce the risk of spit up. Another crucial strategy is burping techniques. Now, I know what you're thinking: burping can be a challenge, especially if you're new to this whole parenting thing. But trust me, it's an art that can be mastered with a little practice. Try using a gentle, upward motion to help your baby release any trapped air, and be sure to burp them frequently, especially after feedings. You can also try switching up the position of your baby while burping to see what works best for them. For example, you can try sitting them up, lying them down, or even using a specialized burp cloth. One feeding strategy that really made a game-changing difference for me was using a slow flow bottle. I was amazed at how much it reduced spit up and made feeding a whole lot easier. It's all about finding what works best for your baby, and being patient and flexible is key. I also want to share a personal story with you that really drives home the importance of these strategies. When my baby was first born, she was a big spitter-upper, and it was really taking a toll on both of us. But once I started implementing these strategies, I saw a huge difference. She was happier, I was less stressed, and feeding became a much more enjoyable experience. So, to recap, we've covered proper positioning, pacing during feeding, and burping techniques, all crucial strategies for minimizing spit up and making feeding a more pleasant experience for both you and your baby. By implementing these approaches, you can reduce the mess and stress that comes with spit up, and focus on bonding with your baby during feeding. Thanks so much for watching, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Have you tried any of these strategies with your little one? What worked best for you? Let's chat. And if you're looking for more baby care tips and tricks, be sure to tune in to my next video, where I'll be sharing some of my favorite hacks for new parents.